Nawaz Miran is currently the chairman of Eastern Group of Companies, a fast developing and progressive group based in Kerala. Their food processing unit is the flagship company of the group. Besides, they are also engaged in the field of thread rubbers, garments, rubberized choir mattress, education, and hospitality. The group has an ambitious plan for expansion at global level. Eastern has their presence in countries like Middle East, UK, US, and Australia. Eastern Condiments is India's number 1 and world's number 2 ranked spice processing company by volume. Nawaz is an young and dynamic leader who has contributed substantially to the growth of this group. He is the past chairman of CII and a charter member of TiE Kerala. Welcome Nawaz Miran for the interaction Coffee Pe Charcha.
Some of you are familiar faces, but all of you are formally new to Nawaz. So we'll start from one end.
I'm basically working on financial technology at Cupra Tech Private Limited. I was part of student delegation sent by Kerala government to Silicon Valley as Startup Village program, and we are basically working on financial technology by empowering next 1 million users who have little or no access to financial literacy to come on board and take the advantage of technology in financial field. So we are working with like half a dozen cooperative banks for empowering their mobility area. And we are working with companies like Geolit in providing our mobility expertise over there. And in the third practice, we are also working with a business who is finding it very hard due to the technology and implementation challenges in e-commerce to come online. So that's basically that.
So this is what you work with cooperative banks in what sort of area?
So basically, the thing is that my mother still calls my cooperative bank to know whether the check is cleared or not. So, and another thing is that I am comfortable with using internet banking, but my mother is not comfortable using with computer or internet banking. So how to take the cooperative banking financial technology or financially empower the next 1 million is the question. So we are doing it by implementing extremely user experience oriented mobility application for cooperative banks.
We have business. We run a cooperative bank in Adimali.
Is it?
Okay.
My name is Shukor Raj. So we are running a management consulting firm in Kochi. We are now. I am planning to start an agri business based on mobile technologies, connecting farmers and buyers through mobile technology.
So this you have already developed the.
The process to develop is going on.
Is it? The development is happening right.
Yes. Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm Shiny Sebastian, Managing Director of Affluence Financial Services. I've basically been for a very good portion of my life in Bombay, growing up, educated, working for a while, till I got married to Maxi. He was in the Navy then, so we were transferred, came to Kerala, and while in Kerala I got into financial services, and I found this space very exciting. And having worked in this space with Kotak Securities, I set it up in Kerala. I went back to, when Maxi got a transfer back to Bombay, I went to there, set up, work with Franklin Templeton. And then when he got transferred, I got back to HSBC. So I work with very large brands. So we have a banking broker kind of network. And at Bombay, I dealt with 300 very good advisors across Merrill Lynch, across Kotak Securities, which was then tied up with Goldman Sachs. So what we did was, 2006, we set up this company, Affluence Financial Services, and we wanted to build a brand that will create value for the investor, open up opportunities available, keeping only the client in mind. So it has to be a very client-centric exercise. Because at the bank, for example, I saw a lot of conflict, broking outfits that have a lot of conflict in the person who's actually managing the money, having to keep the employee in mind and his financial goals as well as the client. So I said, let's take away the conflict, let's work for the client. So we set up this firm, we call it Affluence as a brand. Name speaks for itself. And happy that over the last few years we have been recognized in different forums including the CNBC award that we got last year for the Best in Regional category women, and again this year in the national category which we got last month. And we've also other groups that we have worked with. We've got a hat-trick on being the best distribution, best numbers in pure numbers. We were the best in South India, Bangalore, Hyderabad, and Chennai. And the point here is that we are working on evolving into a family office, and this is something that we want to do as we go ahead. And I'm also excited about the fact that can we create a national brand sitting in Kerala, creating value for people, because when I travel all over the country, I see a huge amount of conflict within what clients really want and what they need to buy in as products. So this is what, so I came to understand that Eastern had embarked on this exercise and to learn what we've done right, so we can grow our business.
Good morning, my name is Anthony. I am from the St. Geets group of institutions. I take care of the corporate relations for St. Geets. As a group of education institutions, we focus on nurturing entrepreneurship among the students. So what I am looking at from this meeting is to take away some good leads and tips which I can share with the students and which I can use to empower the students in the campus.
Good morning. I'm engineer Anandamani. I'm Calicut. Basically, I'm a civil engineer. I was working with architect Tony. Right now, I'm on my own for the past from 98 onwards. I'm more specialized into the execution of interiors. I do key execution projects of interiors. I'm also at Icon.
Okay.
Good morning. I am Haji Sebastian, representing IECC, Industrial Electricity Consumers Consortium. We are in the field of electrical system design, mainly focused on power system in industrial sector. And right now, what the work which I am doing is for Switzerland and Pakistan. 4 numbers, 2.1 megawatt wind generator.
Attapadi.
It is for RLD.
Oh.
Some
Yeah.
4 numbers WTG survey. I know that you are also there in that field. You are having a
Yeah.
WTG at Tamakkal numbers. Then aware about it. And they are the field of the evacuation line, then cooling substation design.
Good.
That's what the work which I am doing. And mostly I am doing industrial electrification and some commercial electrification.
I'm in the IT industry, software outsourcing industry. I came here to know what's happening. Actually, my business 100% international business, and just I came here to know what's happening in the local industry and just like to.
Good morning to all. I may be the old man out. I belong to a teaching profession. I'm not an entrepreneur. I'm heading a school known as St. Geets Institute of Management. It's a part of St. Geets group of institutions. My intention of attending this program is that the input which I get from this type of interaction can be used for the development of my students. Thank you.
Good morning all. I'm Devanand Shenoy, based out of Bangalore. We are into perfumes, basic chemicals and agarbattis. We are maintaining 3 brands across Kerala, Vedmi, Triveni, Mavi. I came to know about this from my good friend Jagdeep. We are both members of Vijay Union and the CSR initiative.
We got.
Yeah. And why it was so interesting for me was I believe almost both the companies are into brick and mortar, manufacturing side. Based out of Kerala, it's very tough situation maintaining industry as such, brick and mortar industry. So that is what has brought me. I would like to get some insight into an industry which has started in Kerala, being the second largest manufacturer in the world for money. Very interesting thing for me to learn.
Good morning all. Myself Suresh, basically belongs to Trishur. Profession, I am an HR profession by major. I was working last 10 years in different financial service organizations in the field of HR and learning and development. And which started my consulting, or my consulting, which focus on HR processor and corporate business. I'm also took over, I'm into FMCG, I'm into basically Ayurveda and herbal production. My family had a production unit. I took over it recently, and currently we are manufacturing some hair oils and a little bit of Ayurvedic medicines. Further focusing into chain of preventive lifestyle disease clinics. Okay. It's a major focus.
Good morning. My name is Maxi Jose and I represent the Wealth Advisory. My firm is Affluence Wealth Advisors. We run it more like a family office with a focus on essentially on the HNIs and corporates. And we manage reasonably large corporates in Cochin itself. In terms of my background, I come from a very varied background. I was a commander in the Navy. I left Navy and went to Indian Institute of Management for executive program in Lucknow. Spent 1 year there, and then I went to the Middle East and came back, and I found this interesting space. And one of the reasons why I registered with the SEBI as an investment advisor, because we're the only ones actually practicing in Kerala as far as is to avoid this conflict which happens between the clients and the. So I work entirely on a fee-based model, which is completely transparent to the client, and the aim was to ensure that client knows what he's paying for services he gets. And we're based at Paramlina.
Good morning all, my name is Sunil. I'm running an ice cream company here in Cochin over the last 5 years. I have over 20 years of experience in the fast-moving consumer goods in various fields. And it's a small company now. We are planning to expand at a bigger scale in a few months' time. Thank you.
Good morning all of you. My name is Raji Ambol. I am basically a mainframe specialist. Now I am into multiple sectors. I'm into manufacturing, that is plastic woven sacks industry. And now I recently started a software company that we are into ERP for manufacturing units. And now I'm focusing on another sector that is in natural farming. Thank you.
I'm John K. Paul, a charter member of TIE. I'm a businessman. I run basically Maruti dealership and other dealerships also. I just came here to participate in this coffee project. This is our third event. So I just came here to see how participants are, whether they are getting, whether they are getting their worth for the time spent over here. But the last two talks I understand was excellent. And knowing Nawaz, it cannot be bad, it will only be better. Then you have two other charter members here who are actually organizing this, running around. So let's hope all of you get.
So this is a third edition of this series of Coffee Pet Charcha that we have started. We have two other eminent businessmen sharing their insights. One is, it started with V.K. Matthews, right?
Yes.
Trivandrum. We had one program. Second was done by Mr. Jose Dominic of CTH Earth. And third one we have Nawaz Milan. It is more, in TIE, as you know, we share certain stories, that is one big inspiring factor. But this is a more intimate and interactive forum, that program, format that we have developed. So it's evolving. We all like your inputs also on this. So with that, I hand over to Damodar to introduce Mr. Nawaz, and then over to Nawaz.
Ladies and gentlemen, Nawaz does not need any introduction. Let's hear from him rather than having a formal introduction and spoiling the show. That's what he thought. I hope all of you will agree with it. It's nice to see that some of you are coming on again and again. So probably it says, it speaks well of this program of TIE.
There's tremendous value.
That's what we'd like to.
A lot of takeaways that we've had in the past to take it back and run our own businesses.
Right. It's nice to hear that. Now, we won't waste too much time. We'll get to hear what Nawaz has to say.
Morning once again. So when you start to think about what went wrong and what went in favor, and that's when you understand that whatever you have done in the course of the journey is right. Because whatever mistakes you would have done would have helped you in doing a course correction and getting into a slightly more perfect way of doing business. അപ്പോൾ എനിക്ക് ശരിക്കും തെറ്റ് ശരിയില്ല, കുറേ തെറ്റുകളിൽ നിന്ന് കുറേ ശരികൾ ഉടലെടുക്കുന്നു. അങ്ങനെ ദാറ്റ്സ് എ റൂട്ട് വിച്ച് ഐ ഓൾവേസ് ഹാവ് ഇൻ മൈൻഡ്. But one thing which I have always felt that is most important in any business you take is, we call it USP, unique selling proposition. So if you don't have a USP, then you will be a Me Too player. Me Too player in the sense, he is there, I am also there. So we need to create USP for ourselves. So that is where I think the real success of Eastern, the bedrock of success would have been that USP. At a point where, in 1982, when my dad decided to start this organization. Is it audible?
Yes, absolutely.
He was running a grocery wholesale. So those days, very few companies had good distribution network, and Hindustan Liver was one among the good company which had a very solid distribution network. And we used to talk big about our direct distribution, but Lipton was the first company to have all India distribution done directly with 2,000 vans. But then they stopped it because of unionization and stuff like that. Officers Association got formed and the Marxist Party got in, and then they decided, okay, we'll forego the direct to retail format and we will go through distributors. And in 73, my dad got into 67 he started grocery business, and in 73 he got into distribution of consumer products. Consumer products in the sense, you would have heard of Mysore lamps, Karnataka soaps. Karnataka soaps had that Mysore sandal, and then came Stains coffee. Stains coffee was manufactured by Amalgamation Group based out of, this company was based out of Coimbatore. Rajesh ji, please, come. So that's how we got into the very act of distributing products into retail. In 76, my dad went through a bit of bad phase because of one business he started. He lost a lot of money, and a lot of cash crunch was there. And that's the 2 years which I still remember. We even didn't have light. ശരിക്കും കുഴപ്പമാണ് എൻ്റെ ലൈറ്റ് മാറ്റണം, കണ്ണിലടി. Thanks. 78 and 79, I was studying in Kalamsheri. I was in St. Joseph School, and I was staying in a boarding at very close to Premitise. So that is the 2 years my dad didn't have a car because of one disaster in one business. He was under tremendous financial crisis. And in 81, 82, he was thinking about what next and how to, and he thought of coming. We were distributing Stains coffee, and Stains coffee was very irregular on supplies, and we had this brand called Royal Coffee from Kottayam. Many of you have heard of that brand. So Royal Coffee, when the salesman used to come, if you ask for 100 kilos, he will give only 50 kilos. That was the demand. And we were distributors for Stains coffee, and you will have nothing less than 2,500 kilo in your godown, but people doesn't come and ask for that. It's not selling. So Dad decided to get into manufacturing of coffee. So he went to Mysore, picked some coffee roasting facility, and we started our first manufacturing unit under the name Eastern Coffee Works. And in that building there was one small room where we had a very small grinder which grinds chili, coriander and turmeric. Since we were into distribution, trucks were loaded with coffee along with Britannia, Nestle, Mysore Lambs and all that other stuff. Coffee was loaded, 100 kg of coffee loaded into that, and along with that 100 kg of chili, coriander also got loaded. Coffee doesn't sell, curry powder sells. If you load 100 kilos of coffee, 90 comes back. Just because of sheer relationship guys used to take, but then the customer, there are this pull factor and push factor. So we were, since we had a good relationship, we took the push factor, but the pull factor was not in our favor. So, but that pull factor was in favor for spices, chili, coriander and turmeric. So that's how that shift from Eastern coffee to Eastern curry powder came. So that always is there in my mind, because when you take a decision, having full faith in your strategy, but that may not be the right route. So I always feel that never get bothered about course correcting. Even a decision if you take, if you bother about course correction, I thought about this, I wanted to do this, so I have no other way out. Since I have started, then I will do only this. But that is going to be more painful, and in the course of running business, that conflict will be there between what is right and what decision you have taken. So that is one thing which I have always felt governed me also in taking my decision. I am a very fast decision maker, and I've gained, I've lost, but I never play around decisions. I'll keep moving. So this is how we we started, and then at that point of time we had a USP. I talked about one grinding machine which was supplied by people from Cochin would know about this company called James Engineering. It was in Ravipuram. So James Engineering was successful in selling a grinding machine to Papa. And this was used in lime crushing. It was not used in spice grinding. It was used in lime crushing industry. We bought the machine, but it took around 1 or 2 years time for us to rectify the machine and make it possible to grind chili. So then finally we were able to get that nice powder. We were competing with Tamil Nadu brands, because those days here starting a grinding place, we call it പൊടിക്കണ മില്ല് എന്നാണ് പറയുന്നത്. നമ്മളിപ്പോൾ ഇംഗ്ലീഷിലൊക്കെ ഫ്ലോർ മിൽ എന്ന് പറയാം, അന്ന് പറയുമ്പോൾ അത് പൊടിക്കണ മില്ലെന്ന് പറയാം. സോ ഇറ്റ് ഡിഡ്ന്റ് ക്യാരി ഇമേജ്. സോ അതുകൊണ്ട് കേരള ഡിഡ്ന്റ് ഹാവ് മച്ച് ഓഫ് സ്പൈസ് കമ്പനീസ്. Lot of Tamil Nadu brands used to come. So we were selling the first kg of chili powder from Eastern. We sold it for 26 rupees, whereas the competition was selling it 17 rupees. So we found it very difficult to sell in the market. But Papa said, chili I buy and those guys buy. He always used to boast about his purchase skills. He used to directly go to the market. Even when we were in boarding school, whenever he get a chance, he used to bring us along when he goes to the market. And that acquaintance has helped me in the way we do the purchase and stuff like that. So he thought, if I am buying chilli at say 15 rupees, then the cost can only be 26. And if those guys are selling this at 17 rupees, there is something gadbad in this. So Papa's instruction to Mama was that from now on we will not use. We were using a brand called Nadraj. I don't know how many of you have heard of that Nadraj brand. So we'll stop using that because there is something in it. So decided to okay. So in that, I think we didn't have much USP. 26 rupee versus 17 rupee. It was very difficult to convince the retailer. So we said, this is one machine which is used in allopathic medicine manufacturing units, and we used to say that this has been grind. This technology is I need to recollect that technical term. We used to tell all these stories to the shopkeeper, and he used to buy that, and we used to give credit. Distribution was our earlier business. In that business, we had to give credit for 15 days. So we used to give credit, and we started growing slowly. From one vehicle, we moved to exclusive vehicle, and then it became 2 to 3 vehicles at that point of time. So by 85, 86, sales started going up. So we had to give credit. So money got stuck. It's not getting stuck, but money got into the hands of retailer because we are giving 15 days credit, and we didn't have much money to play around with. And Papa reached a stage where he was having lot of pressure. So the first bank application was submitted to Union Bank in Adimali, and this manager didn't even touch the application, and he always used to tell Papa that I'm working on it. And finally there is another place called Pottangal, which is around 30 kilometers away from Adimali. One guy who used to use our product, he was the manager at Pottangal SPT branch. He once came to Papa and said, I will give you 2 lakh rupee if you are interested. So then he took the first 2 lakh rupee in 85. Then the second tranche was 14 lakh rupee. That was again from SPT. But even this 2 and 14 and all was not helping us in addressing the cash crunch. So in the year 1988, he took a decision that he will sell Eastern products only on cash and cash. It was a major debate between salesman and Papa. അന്ന് പപ്പ യൂസ് ചെയ്തൊരു വാക്കുണ്ട്, പെരിയാറിൽ ഒഴുകുന്ന എല്ലാ വെള്ളത്തിനും ഞാൻ അരിയിടില്ല, എൻ്റെ വയറിനുള്ളതിന് മാത്രമേ അരിയിടുള്ളൂ. He said he wants only for my stomach, so I don't want to build 100 കോടി അവിടെ കൊണ്ടേ കടം കൊടുത്ത്. I don't want that. From 88 onwards, if I am selling, I am selling only on cash. അത് ഞങ്ങളുടെ ഗ്രൂപ്പിൻ്റെ ഒരു it became part of the culture of group, which eventually helped us in buying products on a cash and carry. So we used to, if Eastern is in market on a fine day morning in Guntur, then others will find it difficult to get the product, because if we pick the material, by the evening we will do the quality check, because in market you get only a handful of sample. Bags will be like 600-700 bags. Our people will have to go check it, and by the evening, after the check is over, the next day morning that amount hits their bag. So if we are in the market, in spite of being 2 rupees, 3 rupees lesser compared to the market price, we used to get the material. So that's the power of dealing with cash. So that was a very, very solid decision from my dad, and I think a weak mind like mine would have never taken that sort of a decision. So I always feel, but then eventually what happened was, when we started mattresses business, we have a brand called Sunidra Mattresses. The mattresses industry, the style of mattresses industry is that you give credit for 45 days, and eventually you will get the money back only after 90 days. That's the way mattresses industry works. So we also started in the same mattresses format. Then finally one day, Papa never used to come and sit in the meetings. So finally one day he came and sat in the meeting, and there was a bit of cash crunch. So what is the issue? Where is the cash? And all that questions came up. So he then said, no way, you guys have to sell it on cash. So then he said, if you are not selling on cash, then might as well stop it. So we all sat, we discussed, and then we finally decided, okay, we will have to change the format. So we changed the format to such an extent that if you go to a retailer, he will say that I will not take it on cash and carry. So we reframed it and said that, okay, we are going to have franchisee. So the franchisee is one guy who will sell exclusively our product. So a normal shopkeeper, if he has got 3 shutters, we will say that you sell your product on that 3 shutters and 2 shutters, other products, other brands, but give us exclusively 1 shutter. So we created that exclusive outlet, and then we did a small working on the pricing. Generally, when somebody goes to sell mattresses, if the MRP is 2000 rupees, to get rid of the salesman, he will say that your MRP is only 2000. So print 2250 income, I will buy. So his selling price also he will negotiate. His MRP also he will negotiate. You got it? Yeah. So the prices of mattresses went to 2500 rupees. Whereas if you sell it at 15% margin, at that point of time, it was only 1297 rupees. Because we took the batter route. At 1297, if you price it, dealer will get 15%. He is happy. And we told the dealer that, boss, you need to keep one thing in mind. See, you are selling a mattress at 2500 is the list price. You are going to sell it at 1800. Somebody who is very smart, he will come and negotiate and he will get it for 1500. And by sheer coincidence, these are neighbors. And I will come to know that my friend has bought it for 1500, whereas he has sold it to me at 1800. Think about your credibility. So we were using all this USP. We were able to convince retailer that you have to sell at fixed priced minus fixed discounts, so that you will not lose. So with that exercise, we were able to bring in 210 exclusive franchisees for brand Sunidra in Kerala, and we made it 101% cash and carry business. So now any business we are in, you take the Eastern culture, it's all only on cash and carry. We launched our product in Bombay. So the area sales manager for Bombay is, so Shravan told me that, boss, these are all 6th generation guys. You know, they are all used to getting products on cash credit. So how do we go and tell them that Eastern is selling on cash and carry? I said, see, in Bible we have this saying that Nirvaham illengil Neediman endu cheyum. So you don't have money to give credit, and we want to sell it also. So whatever is sold on cash and carry, okay, we'll stick to that, and we only need that. You won't believe. You won't believe now whatever 200 tons which is sold in Bombay market, 200 tons in a month which is sold in Bombay market is sold on cash and carry. So is it audible? So it's just believing in your strategy, just sticking on to your decision, and if need be, and if you stick to it, and if you have proved it, then there is nothing wrong in sticking to it. And we stuck to that. UP is such a market where you can't even think of distributing products in UP. We operate 70 direct delivery vans in UP. We go direct to the retail. We sell every product on cash and carry. Every product. Because it became part of the culture. If I am a salesman in Eastern, I don't know how to sell on credit. So that actually changed the way in which Eastern growth actually came in. So from that point onwards, what's the net result of if you're selling on cash and carry? Money started coming in. So that is where we make more mistakes. I was in in 96-97 I was studying in SB College, Changanasheri. From the second year onwards, I used to go with the van. The van reaches Changanasheri on Monday afternoon. So from Monday afternoon till Friday evening, I will be with the van. I didn't have adequate attendance, but you know how we used to manage attendance and stuff like that. But luckily, I got through pre-degree. But selling was a passion for me. I used to, if you look at markets other than Idukki district and part of the Ernakulam district, which is Kodamangalam, Perumbavoor and Muvattupuzha, all other markets for Eastern has been opened by me. Whenever I get a vacation, if it's Trivandrum, we'll go to Trivandrum, stay there in a place called International Hotel. It was very close to the Secretariat. Very small room, but Papa had given me a jeep, and we went there and used to start selling there. And it's just replicating the other proven model in all those places. So I came back from Bombay in 92 and started working with Papa. Bombay gave me a lot of exposure on how we do business and stuff like that. So there was this mismatch on what do you call? And the John Chada, the correct word. Mismatch on ideas. Conflict of interest. Conflict of interest, conflict of opinion.
Style managing.
Yeah, managing style. So it reached a stage where, you know, one day I told my mom that it's very difficult to, because my learning from Bombay and my experience here, you know, was completely different. And Papa had valid reasons also. He had a turnover of 8 crore rupee those days, 92. And on record we had only 1 crore turnover. So my first fight was to put everything on black and white. Apo Papa used to tell me that chuvurundengilale chitra eduthan pattu. So let me create the chuvur, and then we'll. But then, you know, I brought in SB Bilimoria. Now it is what allowed SB Bilimoria into picture. So SB Bilimoria came in, and you won't believe we had a single entry accounting system. So they came and said that, boss, it has moved a lot, you know, you have to get into double entry accounting system. So I went to Mauritius for a business delegation, trip. There was a fair happening in Mauritius. So I went along with those guys. When I came back, I saw big bunch of SB Bilimoria written process chart of accounts in the dustbin. So that evening, I felt so very frustrated. This is not happening. So I told mom that I want to quit. So Papa used to tease me always. Okay, you do one thing. I am giving you 100% freedom. We have got a small thread rubber manufacturing facility in Kodamangalam. So do one thing, you try and see, you guys, if you want, you can come and sit here, if you don't mind. Yeah, sorry. So that is there. So you need to. It was a loss making. You know, he just put in some money to help a friend of his. So then I said, okay, fine. So from that day onwards, I started getting into the bus, reach a place called Unagal. It's very close to Kodamangalam, and go to the factory. By 95, I was able to create a sizable business from thread rubber. And then, since I came back from Bombay, so those days my hero was Harshad Mehta. So the reason was, I stayed in Sakinaka. So from Sakinaka to Andheri railway station, when you come, you could see this company called it's a packaging company. It's hardly 2000 square feet building, and the name is written there. Just for the reason that Harshad Mehta had a staring look at that brand name, the share price started going up, and it went to 160 rupees those days. So I also thought that, we need, which one? Not SL. It starts with M. It will come. No, not metal box. It's a very small.
Metal box?
It's a big, metal box is big. So then, from that day onwards, I had this public issue and stuff like that in my mind. So in 95, I decided that I want to take thread rubber into a different level. So 96 we did our first public issue, and that was the first public issue from the group, and I was 26 at that point of time. I don't think that record is still broken by anyone in Kerala, single-handedly doing a public issue. And 3 days before Papa asking me whether, I've got a trip to UK, shall I proceed? I said, you can go. And on the closing day of the public issue was December 6th. when this Babri Masjid issue was there. So there was a total bandh in Kerala, but with help from friends like Ajit Mopen, I was able to close that issue. That business didn't do good. So that's where I'm again coming back to the point where, when money starts coming in, your ideas also will start flying. If I had worked with Papa patiently, and if I had gone with an IPO for Eastern Condiments rather than for ETL, I think I would have, because you've heard about this ladder growth. Every year you grow, so that ladder formation will come on the graph. So we would have easily been able to show a ladder growth in that company, but we went with the wrong company. I hadn't proved myself in that thing. Whenever you go to public or to a private equity, you have to go with a proven track. So that was one major mistake. I still remember in 96, after the public issue, Eastern Threads had got 8.5 crores of money with them. And in a span of 5 years, we actually went to the stage of DRT because of IDBI debt. So that I feel was one major mistake which still people do, and still I am also doing that mistake of, people come up with ideas and you will say that you will join and you commit money there, and then you get into serious trouble. So money came in, started coming in. We took various decisions which were not good for condiments business. And at one stage, that was in 98, 99, it came to a stage where if Eastern Condiments profits were at 50 lakh per month, then the group company put together losses were almost 50 lakhs. So then one day I went to Adimali and sat with Papa, and I said, Papa, he was completely committed on to condiments. He was not into any of the other. So he didn't know what was happening. And so now if this is the way we are taking business forward, we will get into trouble. Papa has got some strength, I have got some strength, and this is not getting synergized. So we need to get to a stage where we are able to synergize this. So he said, don't worry. At that point of time, Eastern Threads accumulated loss was 10 crores. And it was funded by condiments. And funded by condiments in the sense, whenever I require, when suppliers are coming and sitting in our Mehta Square office, I will call Papa and say that I need 10 lakh, he will give 10 lakh. So this kept on going, and then finally we came to a stage where things were coming to a grinding halt. So that is the point when we decided that we need to have a structure. We decided that we need to have a structured format on running the business. So we hired two MS Square. One was MS Ranganathan and the other one was MS Sebastian. So MS Square came in, and I can't forget this incidence of Mr. Ranganathan doing a magical work. So that was like, I can't get into the office. If I come to the office, I would see all these guys, and knowing me, I would pacify everyone. But how long can you go with this? Ranganathan came in, Sebastian came in. Ranganathan had a meeting with all the vendors. Yeah, please. With all the vendors. So the vendors came in and he said, from tomorrow onwards, we are going to go on a cash and carry. And I thought he and Papa would have had some discussion. So some money would have been raised. So that is the reason why he is telling this. So I got stuck. So then finally everyone, guys, everyone give the right price. We are going to go on a cash and carry. So faces all started smiling and lightening, and then we negotiated. Prices came down. Then he gave the order. Along with the order, the DD also went. So then the vendor started asking, so what about my other money? And he said, this is as per the plan for restructuring Eastern Trades. So with every purchase, we will give you 5% extra. With every purchase, if I am buying for 100 rupee, I will give you 105 rupee. 80% of the vendors, knowing us and because of the relationship and all, they agreed. 20% didn't agree. So those 20%, we put some extra effort and stuff like that to pay them off, but we didn't give them business. So you won't believe, in a span of 6 months, we moved into a cash and carry purchase. Prices started coming down. So the profitability started getting positive. So, I mean, the restructuring of Eastern Trades, it still comes into my mind as a film, because me going to Adimali with a heavy heart, driving myself, reaching there at 8 o'clock in the night, sitting with Papa at 9:15 or so, and then suddenly I started crying, because I have no other way, because people are, IDB had created a lot of issues. They had gone to a level of even going to DRT. So I said, Papa, I am completely out. So that's when Ranganathan and Sebastian comes into picture. We started having daily con calls. Every day we used to have con call with Sebastian, Ranganathan, me and Papa. We started having the con calls. And then started the weekly meetings. Every week we used to have a meeting. Papa used to come down and we sit and we discuss about financials, new projects and all that stuff. By 2002, 2003, picture started changing. So that is when I thought that now you have been successful in doing one business. So why don't you put all your effort on that? So I started participating on the condiment side, started putting more effort, more time, and I could make out that we need money into the system. So to bring in money, either you have to go on the debt side or private equity. So from 98 onwards, wherever there is a private equity related discussion, I used to go for that. So we started discussing with all these private equities, and private equities, the expectation from private equity varies from person to person, from fund to fund. So listening to nothing less than 50, 60